Welcome, ladies and gents. What a British Grand Prix qualifying session we just got. It was incredibly close. Nothing like we've seen before or I've seen before in an absolute age. It was mega close. Let's get straight to it. Some news ahead of the session. Obviously, the penalties. Kimi Antonelli carries over a 3-place grid penalty from wherever he qualified from the Austria crash with Max Verstappen. So 3 places down from here for him. And a real shame for Ollie Behrman, who got a 10-place grid penalty in FP3. His own fault, really. He was just trying to test the limits going into the pit lane. When there was a red flag, got it wrong, crashed, and the stewards, any incidents under red flag when you should be going extremely slowly and just bringing it back to the pits. You're getting harsh penalties, and he's fallen foul of that, so that will cost him dearly. Let's jump straight into Q1. It was absolutely horrendously close here. Franco Colapinto was one of the major talking points, wasn't he? A big spin for him. Managed to keep it out of the wall, and you thought, we could just live to fight another day, but had to pull over in the end, and there was a red flag. And that meant, though, that he did qualify last place for him. Mega pressure on him at the moment. Is this his last race now? He got a 5 race contract in that space, and has he done enough? This certainly won't help him at all. 19th place for Nico Hülkenberg. I mean, a bit of a surprise one for the Sauber guys, because they've gone pretty well recently, but qualifying here, I mean, it was mega close, and they just didn't get it right. 18th place, Lance Stroll, another absolute shocker from him, because his teammate was miles up ahead than him. Gabi Bortoleto rounded out with a disappointing session for Sauber in 17th, and Liam Lawson, another one, would be really disappointed in P16. The start of that session, though, was Ollie Behrman, and he'd be kicking himself even more from where he qualified in the end, because it was a mega session. He was P3 in that session, led by Max Verstappen, Piastri and Behrman, and you thought, where the Ferraris disappeared to in here? But it was so close. I mean, Lewis Hamilton just made it through in the end. It was 0.2 of a second from P4 to P15. I mean, it was that close. It was nothing between it. Small mistakes meant you were out in Q1, and I've not seen it that close. It was sort of what you expected to see in Austria last time out with the closeness, but we didn't, did we? We got the 2 McLarens miles ahead of everyone, not half a second from P1 to P2. I mean, that gap would have seen you out in Q1 this weekend. So it was really close, and a longer sort of track as well. So we don't really get sessions like that, but it was absolutely brilliant, what we really wanted to see. And that set things up for Q2. Ocon in 15th place, Albon 14th, Isaac Hadjar 13th, Yuki Tsunoda a disappointing 12th. He'll move up 1 place after Behrman's session, and Carlos Sainz in 11th. Again, the star in that session for me was Ollie Behrman. Got himself up to P6. Pierre Gasly as well squeezed into P10 in that Alpine. Didn't look very good at all. An absolutely excellent job from him. The bad session for me was the most disappointed out. That would have been Esteban Ocon. 15th place. He was 0.4 of a second behind his teammate Ollie Behrman. Ollie in P6 was an absolute tremendous job, and that's where Q2, where the Ferraris came to the front and kind of what we've expected them to be fighting for pole position. Hamilton led Leclerc in that session with Norris 3rd, and then we got the surprises of all surprises. Or should we be surprised when we've got Max Verstappen at the front in a Red Bull Q3, and he pulled off an absolutely incredible lap. Him and his Sector 2 was absolutely mind-blowing in that car, and he puts himself on pole position. He did a 33.9 in that middle sector, the only one to get into the 33s in that middle sector, and he held it together at the end in Sector 3 is where he's kind of been the slowest out of all 3 sectors, but Sector 1 and 2 are absolutely outstanding, and that's what got him a nicked pole position. And it's all about his downforce. I mean, he's gone for a low downforce setup, so he's been mega quick down the straight. So it's going to be, I mean, he's done the perfect job with the car setup that he's had set for the race. I mean, he might be in trouble if it rains with a low downforce setup. You need more downforce when it rains, so he could be in a little bit of trouble there, because there is rain forecast for before the race, but I think they're hoping that it, at best, we've seen what we've seen in Q1 was a bit of light drizzle, and that rain stays away, because he'll be so difficult to beat down the straight and catch, because he was so much faster than everybody else, and then he's shown he can keep it together in the middle sector. Yeah, he's just put himself in such a good position to go ahead and win this race with the car setup that he's chosen. He'll be just hoping he can get off the line well and keep that P1 into turn 1, and he's been pretty good at that most times, although struggled a little bit more this season compared to what we've seen before. And then came Oscar Piastri, second place for him. He was brilliant. His first lap was really good, and then in the last lap, that sector 3, he just put his foot down on the pedal a little bit too hard coming out last corner, got a bit of a slapper, and then cost him a lot, and that probably what cost him pole position, because he looked absolutely brilliant, had the numbers on Lando Norris in that Q3 all-important session. It just couldn't bring it home in the end, and I think we can say that by a number of drivers. Lando Norris in P3, probably the position he probably at worst he wanted to be is right behind his teammate. It'd be worse if Oscar was on pole and then he had Verstappen and then him in third place, considering the title challenge. I mean, is the man he's fighting for the title is just right up ahead of him, so he's got him in within his distance, and he's still got the win within his grasps. You wouldn't write him off from P3. I mean, you probably couldn't write anybody off at the moment, the way that it's gone. George Russell, though, for me, was another one with another star of that session alongside Max Verstappen to get himself from P4. An absolutely brilliant sector 3, and that's what got him pole position, P4. It was absolutely out of nowhere. The Mercedes didn't look anywhere to be getting themselves that close or in the fight with either the Ferraris or the McLarens or Max Verstappen, but George has done it again, pulled off an absolutely brilliant job. I know all eyes are on Max, but that car and that where that Mercedes was, George has pulled off an absolutely brilliant job to get there. And then comes probably for me the two most disappointing of that session, and then it's surprising. It's Lewis Hamilton in 5th, beats his teammate Charles Leclerc, who qualifies in 6th place. A bad sector 2 for Lewis Hamilton was really what cost him, and a bad sector 1 for Charles Leclerc is what cost him. I mean, there was only 2/10 between pole position and Charles Leclerc, so it was absolutely really close up again at the front, and small mistakes cost probably any one of them top 6, apart from George Russell. I don't think he had the car to put himself in pole position, so I think he'd be really happy with his P4 because given where that car was. But the other 5 drivers in the top 6 could have all been on pole position. It was that close, nothing to choose between them. But I think the 2 Ferraris, either one of them look like they'll be on pole position, given how well they've been in all the free practices. Even in Q2, the way they just come out and just stamp the authority with a 1-2 in the Q2 session, it just didn't really come right to them. Lewis Hamilton's time in Q2 was faster than his Q3 time, and when that happens, you've got something wrong in that Q3 session, so I think he'll be a little disappointed. Kimi Antonelli with a decent job in P7, but he'll be down in P10 with that 3-place grid penalty for him. Ollie Behrman with an absolutely brilliant job in P8, and I think that's why I'll be kicking himself so much for that 10-place grid penalty, because he's going to start down in P18. Never say never in the British Grand Prix. He can still pull off a decent result if rain or safety cars or whatever fall in his favour, but he'll be kicking himself because he put himself in a really good position to pick up some good points in his home race. And a silly mistake in FP3 entering into the pits. I mean, yeah, horrible for him. Fernando Alonso qualified in 9th. He'll find himself 2 places up behind the Ferraris in P7. And Pierre Gasly got into the top 10. Another really good performance in that Alpine, because guys behind him look like they'd be faster. But he's done another really good job of hoping he can hold on for that final point, but it's going to be difficult. Guys behind him do look quick. The Williams I think they got caught out a little bit in qualifying. I think there's more pace in that car, but we're set for what should be an absolutely brilliant race. When you look at my predictions, I was pretty much on the money with Piastri, Norris, Verstappen. I mean, Verstappen pulled it out of the bag. Didn't expect that one at all. So for the race, it's just all set. I genuinely can't put my finger on who would win this race tomorrow. It could be anyone in that top 6 because weather conditions permitting, just strategy calls, and they just look so close in the race, and the race pace does look good. The Ferrari's race pace looks brilliant, so I think they'll be looking forward. The McLarens will be looking to hound Max Verstappen. George Russell, he might be in a sticky spot, but with weather condition changes and that car, we thought it'd perform better in colder conditions. It's not really happened for them, which is the biggest surprise, I suppose. But could something with the rain, could that turn things around for him? It's going to be so close, because I genuinely can't pick a winner for the British Grand Prix tomorrow. Race day should be brilliant. I can't wait for the action to get going. It should be brilliant. Stick with it. Watch out for the race review tomorrow. I am excited. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, see you on the next one.